There's like a company that makes these keychains for Adobe that say like the file name at the end, and it's like client final. Oh my God, this is final. And I'm like, yeah, that's yep. You can use that, by the way. Being 15, 16 years into doing this professionally, the camera is one thing, right? But then there's all the other aspects of video, which is audio, good lighting, good editing. It's really the person behind that camera and their ability to tell the story. So then it's really more the directing that comes into play. It's asking the questions and to being able to connect with that person, just like we're doing right now. But on the editing side, it's different. The editing side is much more creative. Yeah, what moments, you know, are good and what is just garbage. You know, it's 90% garbage and 10% really good stuff. So I always tell our guys and gals, shoot everything. Let the camera roll, because those moments just happen and you don't expect them. Notoriously, it'll end up in the cut. And typically the client is like, oh my gosh, you got that? The biggest competition is people that want to do the stuff themselves, or they don't want to pay for it because they don't feel like I'm going to do a better job than what they can already do. The average consumer has a very limited understanding of what we do and basically feel like they can do everything that we do with this, right? To me, it wouldn't really matter if I shot it on, you know, the cheapest phone out there or the most expensive camera. If it comes down to that person eliciting the response of volunteering, writing a check, getting involved, then our video is successful. Pricing a video is partly creative and partly science. So the price negotiation really comes down to trying to figure out the breadth of that entire project and understanding what my time involvement is going to be. Some people will say, well, how much would you charge for, you know, this 30-second commercial? And it's like, well, I have a lot of questions, right? Let's say they're getting 3 bids. A lot of times we're the most expensive one out there. We're at least the medium priced one. It could be $500, it could be $5,000. There's a real gamut in there. It could be more than that. And really a lot of other factors that should be considered is how soon is this due? You know, because sometimes people will call and they'll be like, you know, we got this auction, right? We want this drone footage and stuff, and it's next weekend. So all that factors in, because then you have to ask yourself, well, what would FedEx do? Right? Your crisis is not my emergency kind of thing, is unless you want to pay for it, and then it is my emergency, right? From that process of cutting together that interview, then we know here are the moments of B-roll that we need. So I always try to shoot interviews first, and then going back from that, then I know here are the things that I need to support their narrative. If they're talking about this, they need to get a shot of that. I love it when we get that 2-week process done, we share it with the client and they're like, this is great, you know, I have no changes. We have like what we call Beer Fridays, which is just like, you know, 3 o'clock, yeah, you guys are like, wow, this sounds like an amazing job.
Hey,
no.
Take advantage of what's around you.
Right. It is. You guys want to stay for another 6 hours? It tends to be a little bit slower on a Friday afternoon. I think as people are winding down for the weekend, we'll have a beer or something, and we still work, you know, but it's a little more jovial, you know, it's just a little bit more relaxed. I like to tell people I'm the easiest boss they'll ever have. I'm pretty easygoing. Yeah. I'm pretty, yeah, and that doesn't apply to those students that are under 21, by the way. I try to be pretty easygoing, but at the same time, I am particular about some things. I'm kind of picky and choosy about the work that I want to do because I want it to be fun for me and rewarding for the staff to be a part of.